Happy New Year, everyone. Hope everyone had a good and safe New Year. Mine was fun. Wasn't crazy, it was nice and fun. Um, anyway, sorry about the break. I needed a break. There was a lot going on this Christmas season, and I needed time off from the channel. Doing 3 videos a week is a little on the hectic side at times. So, anyways, I'm going to give you an update and plans for the channel for 2026. I've not done one of these before, or if I have, it's been a long time. So, Saturday's review is going to be Tales of the Bounty Hunters. Um, this has been one that's been on the docket for a long time, and we're going to do it. And I do plan to also go through Tales from Jabba's Palace sooner rather than later, as well as a few other Bantam era books, such as the Bounty Hunter Wars. These have all been books that have been asking for me to review them for a long time. And it's good to be back into the Bantam swing of things. I do want to tackle more Star Wars novels this year, more of the adult novels. The stretch goal would be to finish out the Brian Daley Han Solo books, do the Lando books, the A.C. Crispin Han Solo books, which would be more Bantam, and Splinter of the Mind's Eye, possibly the original trilogy novelizations. Might as well. I did the prequels many years ago, and it's time for me to do the original trilogy justice. I want to continue my New Republic reading that has been on hold for nearly a decade. The quote unquote Road to Crucible to make fun of the Journey to the Force Awakens, which was a stupid marketing gimmick that didn't really lead to the Force Awakens. And then they did it for Last Jedi. And then they kind of sort of did it for Rise of Skywalker. It just never led to anything other than my irritation. Because it's a bunch of books that don't really set up anything in Force Awakens. Or any of those sequel movies, because they're not thought out. Anyway, want to tackle those. The big goal is to get 2 comic series done this year. 2 big ones. The first is Marvel Star Wars. It is my top priority to get through the original Marvel years omnibuses. And then probably jump into the comic strips after that and just finish all that classic 70s, 80s stuff. And then probably might as well do the droids and Ewok stuff because that won't take that long. But that's probably getting into 2027 at that point. But that's the big goal, is to be done with Marvel Star Wars. This has taken me way too long. And last year I set out to take on a few reviews that have been waiting for a long time. That's where we got the Dragonlance Legends books, the Legends trilogy. We had True Republic Commando True Colors, things like that people have been asking for a long time. And I wanted to do a little more of that this year, so we'll get some more Dragonlance. It probably won't be till the spring, but we'll be tackling the first 3 Dragonlance Tales books this year. Possibly the first trilogy of Preludes and the first trilogy of Heroes. But also, we are going to jump back into the Shannara universe. I'll talk about this briefly. One of the things that caused me to just need to take a break from the reviewing cycle I was on during the holidays was my favorite bookstore, Cal's Books. We had a horrible flash flood where I lived. It actually unalived someone. It was very bad. It was very scary. I actually ended up caught in part of it in my car, but thankfully I caught it early on because I had to do a last minute Christmas shopping run. and I caught it early, the flooding early on, and I managed to get out of it fairly quickly. It was very scary. I was actually on the phone with Red 5 Reviews during it, and he's my witness. It was pretty terrifying. But Cowell's flooded, and Cowell's officially closed last weekend. We were there, and I picked up a bunch of Shannara. Um, I'm talking I only am missing like 2 or 3 books now. It's pretty crazy. Sorry, I'm getting texts. I forgot to put my phone on airplane mode, but it's okay. Anyway, um, let's talk some more reviews. So yeah, we're going to start with The Word in the Void, which was retroactively made the beginning of Shannara. I actually read the first novella because I picked up this book the other day. I didn't know this existed. Terry Brooks collected a bunch of his novellas and short stories in a book called Small Magic. This, I believe, came out in like 2020. I want to say. We'll look at the copyright here. Yeah, 2020. So yeah, I missed it. It was during the pandemic. This came out. And this is mostly Shannara. The Word and the Void stories, which I already read one of them called Imaginary Friends, which you will be getting a review of probably next week. I may stack and also do the novella Warrior, which is a direct sequel to Imaginary Friends. And they are precursors to the Word and the Void trilogy. So I plan to tackle that trilogy as well as Genesis of Shannara, which is the next trilogy after that. And I'm going to go through Shannara chronologically. I don't think anyone's done that on YouTube. And I have not read a lot of Shannara. I've only read the initial Sword trilogy. I never even read the prequel, The First King of Shannara. But I read those 3 books. And I like them a lot. You all like them a lot. The Sword of Shannara is one of my highest viewed reviews I've ever done. I don't know if I would definitely reread that trilogy. I don't know if I will re-review it per se, because I have a feeling my opinions are going to stay the same on all of them. But I'm going to be tackling everything Shannara for the next couple years. That is a big goal of mine. Because Terry Brooks is basically done. He's basically given the torch to Delilah S. Dawson. They're allegedly co-writing a new Shannara book that comes out in August. I might get to that. I'd have to also get through Defenders of Shannara, which is a duology, and then read the first one of that series, which I actually ordered. It'll be here tomorrow. So yeah, we're going to be working some more fantasy stuff in, as well as like fantasy YA stuff from my childhood. I plan to do some of that. For sure, we're going to be talking about the Keys to the Kingdom series, which is a YA story that I only read the first 3. There's 7 books. I only read the first 3 of them when I was in elementary school, late elementary school. And then I had them all and then just never read them. And that's kind of irked me for a long time, and I'd like to finish that series out. I actually started my reread of Mr. Monday this morning, which is the first book, and I'm thoroughly enjoying it so far. It's better written than I remembered it being. But if I get through that, then I'll probably also do Narnia. Go through all 7 Narnia books this year. I've been on a C.S. Lewis kick recently. On account of they're going to butcher Narnia, it's very clear that this new adaptation of it's going to be god-awful. And not understand C.S. Lewis's vision of Narnia. It's unfortunate that modern audiences seem to just want to take a dump on C.S. Lewis because of his religious beliefs. But I mean, like, his beliefs are very pivotal to Narnia. And taking that out kind of takes away from the whole thing. What are you going to do after that? that was something that the Disney, at least that first Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe they did back in the late 2000s, like mid to late 2000s, that director understood it. Now, Prince Caspian was bad, and I never bothered with Voyage of the Dawn Treader. Although Matt Wilkins defends it, I don't know how to feel about that. So maybe at some point I'll watch that. I don't know. I'm not holding my breath on that one. But yeah, I've been wanting to talk about Narnia for a long time on the channel. We're gonna do it. We may do Tolkien, but that wouldn't be till the fall. Because I am not going to do 31 horror reviews of Halloween this year. It was way too stressful the last 2 years I've done it. I'll do a smattering of horror for the channel. I'll continue my 30 Days and Nights reviews in October, because we're getting a new collection coming out in the spring, and I will probably read it when it comes out and then just film the reviews and release them in October. I'll do that, and I may do some Lovecraft. And that would probably be it. I could do some Vampire the Masquerade. Picked up a bunch of those novels. I might do 1 or 2 of those, but I'm not going to do what I did this last year, which was 31 horror reviews. Oh, we're going to do all of Resident Evil's game novels. No, we're not doing that again. That was way too much content. Just entirely too much content, and was hurt my brain after a while. And even going on like vacation, coming back from vacation, made me not want to review anything ever again, because I just did, not because I don't like reviewing, it's just because I did way too much of it at once. So moving on, there's still the 2 big IPs, right? Alien and Predator, that are synonymous with this channel. What's the deal with those? We're going to continue Alien and Alien versus Predator. Starting with, we have 3 Aliens short comics that I'll be reviewing all at once, because we just started the second omnibus right here, and I just read the 3 stories. It's just various short stories. They're all fairly interesting and worth talking about. Then we'll jump into AVP Prey, the first novel by Stephen Stephanie Perry, which is an adaptation of Randy Stradley's original comic series. And I have a lot to say about it, a lot of nostalgia for it. Then we'll jump into Aliens Rogue, the comic, and then AVP Hunter's Planet, which is the one original novel from Bantam. To my knowledge, it's out of all the Alien, Predator, and AVP novels that Bantam published, it's the only one that's original. And it's not really considered canon, because at the time, Steve and Stephanie Perry, I think, were itching to do a sequel to Prey. And Randy Stradley just was kind of wandering around with the story. I mean, we were already seeing it. I've already talked about it a little bit. So war wasn't a thing yet. So they did their own sequel, and then Randy Stradley did his own sequel, and they didn't have anything to do with each other except for having Michiko Noguchi in them and Xenomorphs and Yautja. So they ended up doing an adaptation of War, and that's the 3rd novel in that trilogy, because Bantam only did 3 AVP books. We'll talk about that novel as well, but not for a while, because it's technically a sequel to Aliens Berserker, which I do want to get to this year, but that's in the 3rd omnibus. We have to get through the 2nd one, so there's going to be a lot of doubling down on Aliens content. And I'm not sure how I want to do it. I may do what I've been doing with those Marvel Star Wars comics, and after I get through AVP Hunter's Planet, we just do a whole pile of each week it's an Aliens review. I hope that's okay with you all. What I may do to break it up is like put in some of the Bantam Aliens novels I can talk about, because they're all adaptations of comics. So I could do Genocide as General Lots calls it. I probably will do that one this year. And then Alien Harvest, which would be are both in that second complete Aliens omnibus that Titan Books released. Um, so we'll probably do those, and we'll probably tackle that third Aliens omnibus. I may also jump in, and it depends on paper movies, and I'll get to talking a little paper movies too. Um, but I I want to do what I call my definitive novelization reviews for Alien and Predator. And I may jump into re-reviewing Alien, the novelization, because we did a paper movies and I was on that. I want to talk about Aliens because I was not on that paper movies, unfortunately. Even though it was, believe, my pick. I had started school by that point and couldn't do it. And I'll talk Alien 3. I don't think we'll get to Resurrection this year. And I don't plan to re-review Covenant. I may also do Predator and Predator 2, but I'm not sure about Predator 2 this year because we just did it on paper movies. And I have to see if we'll tackle Alien 3 for this season of paper movies. I don't know. Paper movies is a little up in the air. I had a little goof up that I forgot to upload December's podcast. So after I'm done editing this, I get to do that today. Which is a my bad. I recorded it and I did a private recording. So I will get to that. Don't worry. I'm not saying, I'm not going to commit to any new paper movies. We will be doing new paper movies, but I can't tell you what the episodes are going to be right now. We're season's been rough on everyone. Just life happened to all three of us at the same time. And that just when you're an adult and you have kids and stuff, that just happens. And I don't even have kids and life happens to me. But I've tried to hold this season together because they held the previous 2 seasons I really was barely on together. So it's my job to do that. So we'll be working on that. As for other podcasts, there will be a Machine Crusades episode. I will not be starting the Machine Crusades to the end of this month. I want to get through everything I want read in January and possibly into February done before I tackle that, because that audiobook is 27 hours long. It's a behemoth, and I don't really want to deal with that. But I will for y'all, because I feel inclined to tackle the Machine Crusades in the Battle of Corin, and Marcel's down for it. As for King of Our Nightmares, the Dark Half is a top priority for this month. I'm over halfway through it. It just didn't happen this last month. We did do Nightmares in the Sky. I'm very happy about that, and we will get that uploaded onto Captivate as soon as possible. Also, I will be working on Legends podcast, getting the General Lots interview that is nearly 5 hours long into 2 or 3 parts. I'm not sure how I'm going to do that. It hasn't been a priority for a while, but I need to do that. And really start working on that and trying not to do Legends podcasts that long. That was insane. That was the longest a Legends podcast has ever been that stayed up, and I was sober for the whole thing. So, yeah. Anyway, anything else? Oh, we're going to finish Tomb Raider. That's the other big thing. We will be done with Tomb Raider this year. And I'm not just talking the original Tomb Raider Volume 1 from Top Cow. That will probably be done by February, if I'm being completely honest, or possibly March. Because I have the second Colossal Edition. The physical copy finally came. We'll be doing the second volume, which I think is only 12 issues, and it might be all one review because it seems to all be one story. That might be one whole thing. There will be a third Colossal collection. Hopefully, it comes out this year. I will be. That is a high priority for me. I want to be done with all the Tomb Raider comics. I really want to do that. That is something I really want to do. And there are some fans of it. I was actually talking to one the other day. um, who commented saying, "I hope you're doing going to continue doing these Tomb Raider reviews." And I was very thankful. So it's good. It's good to when you all reach out. I always like. I may not always respond in a timely manner to your comments, but I always read all your comments, and I really appreciate you all for sticking with me for the better part of a decade at this point. Um, it's crazy how long I've been doing this for. I think we're pushing the 15-year mark. So, with that being said, we will continue making content going forward. Even though certain podcasts will go into kind of a limbo for a little bit. King of Our Nightmares, once Dark House is done, it's going to go on hiatus probably for the better part of the year, and we're going to bring back Live and Let's Discuss, and continue doing that. We technically started it last fall, or it was last summer. We did the Casino Royale, the 50s Casino Royale. So we're going to go through all the Craig stuff. It's going to be a shorter season, but I think y'all are going to like it. A lot of Casino Royale stuff. But yeah, it'll be the Craig stuff. We're not going to go into the Amazon stuff. I've just drawn a line and said no. And so what's the future of Live and Let's Discuss after that? Noah and I have talked, and we are going to do a young Bond season. Not James Bond Jr. We're not doing that. We will do young Bond. I mean, we may do James Bond Jr., but not right away. So season 4 of Live and Let's Discuss is going to be all the young Bond YA books, which I think are fairly decent. So we'll tackle those. We may also do some of the James Bond origin comics, and maybe the Anthony Hollowitz prequel novel Forever and a Day. That may all be one season. I don't know. I don't even know if we'll get to that by the fall of this year. We'll see. There's a lot coming out with my solo reviews and stuff, and I'll be also collabing a bit with General Lots on various things on his channel, as well as keeping up with Paper Movies. So please bear with me. I'm trying to get stuff done for the channel. I'm trying to do things that I've wanted to do for a long time. I mean, I work in this office. I don't just do the YouTube stuff. I genuinely work in this office, and I try to get things. I'm always looking at my books and being like, oh, I want to review this. Oh, I want to review that. Blah blah blah. I am toying with the idea of doing the Highlander comics, because that reboot's supposed to come out in the spring, so we might get that. I'm probably going to do some more Christian Francis reviews. In fact, I have some of his stuff that's supposed to come out in March. He also has other authors and stuff, but I need to talk to him, and I'll be reaching out to him probably today, if not tomorrow, and we'll be discussing what all is coming out and when it's coming out, because I usually talk to him and try to coordinate, so I'm topical with those. So March might be a Christian Francis heavy month. We were talking about that in October before my honeymoon, that it might be like what he did with October. I know I missed his Christmas book, but that's because I don't think I got a review copy of it. So I will pick up a physical copy of it, but that won't. I may review that this Christmas of 2026. It's just like a fun little thing. But hey, thank you all for sticking with me. I really appreciate you all. I wouldn't be doing this if it weren't for all of you. Well, maybe I might do this, but I wouldn't do as much of it. It's a better better way of looking at it. So thank you all for sticking with me. You all have a good day, and enjoy this new year.